Well, Isabel. Oakeshott, is she foolish to have released the WhatsApp messages, or is she pretty fabulous to have done so? And in this video, what I want to talk about is why she is damn fabulous to have done so. And she's damn fabulous to have done so for many reasons. But the one that I want to talk about in this video is about the disgraceful management from the government of our care homes, of our vulnerable elderly people, in particular those living with dementia, and what they went through during the pandemic and how it was managed. And it starts with that time when we had the announcement that people were going into care homes without any testing. They were just being wheeled in from the community and whatever. And at the time, this hit very personal because my mum, who was in a care home, still is in a care home. And the sleeplessness, the worry, the kind of fight in my own mind with why is he doing this? Why is Matt Hancock allowing this? Because at the end of the day, it was common sense. The logical common sense says it could rip through the care homes. And I was worried, I was really worried that my mum would die of it and so forth. The rest is history of at that point. Fortunately, the care home that my mum resides in acted exceptionally well and were responsible in terms of their admissions policy. They managed it very, very well. So that I was one of the lucky ones. But as time went on with the management of care homes, I believe things got a lot worse. And the inaction and the lack of assertion around bringing families and reuniting families back with their loved ones, for me, is something that I will never forget. And allegedly, I'm hearing that Helen Whately was actually telling Matt Hancock through these WhatsApp messages and whatever, telling Matt Hancock that the elderly are giving up. And he did not take action. Why were they giving up? They were giving up because they were suffering from emotional starvation. Now, don't get me wrong. I am, as a balanced-minded sort of guy, like to think, of course, we had to be cautious. But as time went on and testing was available, the PPE was available, and ultimately the jabberoonie was available, still, families were not allowed in to their loved ones. So in other words, if family members were jabbed, if family members were testing negative, if family members were willing to wear the PPE, there was still no assertion and from Matt Hancock and Helen Whately to the care sector to you must allow families now in if they are okay, I don't want to get into arguments about the jab, but let's say if they'd have said if people are jabbed, if they are wearing PPE, if they are testing negative, there is no reason at all that they should not be allowed in a care home. Now, that did not happen. That broke many families. It broke the hearts of many families. It broke the hearts of many people living in a care home. And it's something that I will never, and like many people, never kind of, to say you're not going to recover from it is a bit dramatic, I guess. But it is something that will stay with me and many thousands of others for many years to come, because that was time that was stolen. And care homes were nervous, and I get that. Of course. What they needed, they were crying out for confidence from the government, for the government to say, listen, if someone is testing negative and if someone's wearing PPE, there is no reason that they should be kept outside, knocking on the door, wanting to come in and hold their loved one's hand. And that's why I believe that when Matt Hancock said that he was putting a ring round care homes to look after people in care homes, not just at the beginning, I'm talking throughout this, right? I believe Isabel Oakeshott has done more to do that in 2 days than he ever did in 2 years. Because she's brought it out, she's exposed it. And because of that, this must never happen again. Seriously, this affected so many people. I personally believe, I have no evidence, I hold my hands up to that, it's an opinion. My opinion is that many more people in care homes died of a broken heart via emotional starvation. More died of that than did of COVID. Because there was this lack of direction, this directive to care homes to give care homes a confidence they could start allowing families back in. And that is something that must never, ever happen again. So I fully support Isabel Oakeshott. I think she's brave. I think she's bold. And I think it's kind of a therapeutic moment in many ways for many families because of what she's done and brought this out. And I hope that, God, please, this never happens again, because trust me, it broke many people's hearts. And it didn't need to, especially as time went on. That's my point. Well done, Isabel.